Blockchain's popularity has grown tremendously in the last few years. With business, government, and enterprises adopting blockchain more, the value of learning blockchain has also increased. By learning about blockchain technology, you will be part of the next generation and understand how our economy will shape in the near future. So let's get into it. What is blockchain? Blockchain is a peer-to-peer ledger system that allows peers to transact between them without any centralized authority. The peer-to-peer network is completely decentralized. To make it decentralized, each peer carries a copy of the ledger. The ledger can be a complete copy or a minimal copy required for it to stay connected and functional to the network. To ensure consensus across transactions, consensus methods like proof of work, proof of stake, or others are used. Also, each transaction is completely secured with the help of advanced cryptographic algorithms. Clearly, the whole blockchain mechanism is used to taking advantage of trust, immutability, and transparency. The idea is the complete opposite of centralization. In short, it is a network with peers capable of doing transactions without any centralized authority. This simple idea is single-handedly changing how industries work. This is how blockchain records transactions in the ledger. For example, healthcare can now be revolutionized to share patients' data on the blockchain. This way, patients do not have to carry their own documents as everything will be stored on the network and click away. The patient can also share their data to research and help improve research on many critical illnesses. Also, it solves the counterfeit drug problem, helping both patients and drug companies. Blockchain architecture. Now that we have an idea of blockchain, it is now time to learn about blockchain architecture. The key components of the blockchain architecture are as follows: blocks, transactions, consensus. Block. A blockchain is composed of blocks. The blocks are stored in a linear fashion, where the latest block is attached to the previous block. Each block contains data. The structure of the data stored within the block is determined by the blockchain type and how it manages the data. We can take the example of the Bitcoin blockchain. A block in Bitcoin blockchain contains the basic information about a transaction, including the receiver, the sender, and the amount of Bitcoin transferred. In a block, there is important information known as the hash. The hash is used to determine any block's authenticity and whether it should be attached to the current chain or not. The hash is unique to every block and hence cannot be replicated by any malicious block. It is also a gateway to understanding what the block includes. This enables the block to protect the contents. So, if someone tries to change the information within the block, the hash value will also change, triggering a warning so that other blocks do not accept it. Each block's structure can be divided into 3 parts, including the data, hash, and the previous block hash. Transaction. A transaction takes place within the network when one peer sends information to another peer. It is a key element of any blockchain, and without it, there would be no purpose of using a transaction. A transaction consists of information including the sender, receiver, and value. It is similar to a transaction done on modern credit card platforms. The only difference is that the transaction here is done without a centralized authority. A simple example would be a user sending Bitcoin to another user. The transaction initiates an agreed contract blockchain, which changes its state. As the whole blockchain is a decentralized network, it needs to be updated by all the nodes. Each node contains an exact copy of the ledger, and thus, a state of blockchain is created. Any single transaction can initiate a state change. Consensus. The last important part of blockchain architecture is consensus. It is the method through which a transaction is validated. Each blockchain can have a different consensus method attached to it. For example, Bitcoin uses proof of work, or POW, whereas Ethereum uses proof of stake, or POS. There are other types of consensus methods, such as deregulated proof of stake, or DPoS, practical Byzantine fault tolerance, or PBFT, proof of history, or POH. Consensus methods are an integral part of any blockchain type. It determines how fast, efficient, and secure a transaction is. Consensus algorithms offer a set of rules. It needs to be followed by everyone in the network. Also, to impose a consensus method, nodes should participate. Without any node participation, the consensus method cannot be implemented. This also means that the more nodes join to participate in the consensus method, the stronger the network begins. Bitcoin has a big network and offers a great incentive to become a miner. In fact, it also has one of the biggest miner communities out there. How does blockchain work? Let's review how blockchain works in steps. Step 1. In the first step, a transaction is requested. The transaction can be either to transfer information or some asset of monetary value. Step 2. A block is created to represent the transaction. However, the transaction is not validated yet. Step 3. The block with the transaction is now sent to the network nodes. If it is a public blockchain, it is sent to each node. Each block consists of the data, the previous block hash, and the current block hash. Step 4. The nodes now start validating according to the consensus method used. In the case of Bitcoin, proof of work or POW is used. Step 5. After successful validation, the node now receives a reward based on their effort. Step 6. The transaction is now complete. All of these processes can offer you the highest level of security in the network. That is all we have for you today. Thank you for watching. Hope we were able to explain how blockchain works well enough for you to understand. Don't forget to leave us a like and hit the big bold red subscribe button to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Till next time.